You're right, guys, name's Neil, and welcome back to another episode of the Zenit Career Mode. More scout reports coming in. We have one from England, loads of players on here, but they're all very young and we won't sign them anyway, so we just get rid of most of them. And yeah, so we have Danny accepted his contract, even though he went down 2 squad roles to a squad rotation player, which is a bit surprising. And then we have one from Spain. The only player that remains is Ever Benega. And also, we have one from Germany here. Loads, no one really I'm interested in, apart from maybe that Angana bloke. Just keep him on there, just to showcase, I guess, who you could sign. But there was a player before I started recording, because the footage was corrupt, that we did actually get different players on the scout report. We got Oscar from Chelsea. He's actually got a contract expiring, so he'd be a very good player to sign, as he's very high in value. And if we can get him for free, if he doesn't want a new contract, I guess, because I guess he would have signed a new one, because players like Turan actually have contracts expiring this year as well, but they've already signed new contracts, so I guess he must have refused one, because usually all the best players have signed contract extensions. But we have an international offer from France there. If I get a reminder, I might take it, but I don't really want to become an international manager. So we have a game against FC Ural here. Not a very strong team, but they are doing surprisingly well. I think they're like 5th from bottom, and the table actually looks very I'm going to say interesting, because FC Krasnodar, who were doing quite well last season, I think they finished about 6th, have slipped down to about 11th or 12th, and Rubin Zan have definitely fallen away. They've gone down to about 8th, I think, and FC Krasnodar, no, Kuban Krasnodar and Anzi are both above them, who Anzi we are actually playing in this episode. So they're definitely not a very strong side if they are 8th. And yeah, so I think our nearest title winner is now Dino Moscow, who have overtaken Spartak. CSK are like the Arsenal of the Russian league. They always like finish 4th. And yeah, so we jump in. We do field a slightly weakened team, but still quite a strong team. Only players with minor fitness issues get taken out. We cross it in with Nelson Oliveira, and Aubameyang heads in. It's a bit of a sweaty goal, but I'll take it. We just got to get that 1-0 lead in the 6th minute, and we dispossess him with Witzel there, and Witzel plays it through to Alex Teixeira, shrugs off the defender, brilliant strength, and puts it in the bottom corner, and the keeper stood no chance there. Once he was strong goal, and he's playing really well. Turns out to be a good utility player, and definitely one I want to keep. Menez hasn't really, stepped up to the plate. He's a good player, but he hasn't really done much, and that's why he hasn't been in the team much. Danny still is a brilliant player. I checked on the squad report off camera, and he's actually gone up in some of his stats. I think there's physical ones, the ones with acceleration, have started going down, but his technical ones I think have gone up, and no, his mental ones have gone up. His attacking position he went up by about 2, I think. We have more updates here. We keep getting sent these, and we have another one from Spain. It's Bernat on there, and but I was going to keep him, but you can't sign him because he's only 20, and the only one that remains is Ever Benega. Germany here, we have loads of players, but no one really interesting. I mean, they're all Bundesliga 2 players, I think. And one from England, finally, and has it got anyone else on it? No, I don't think so. Maybe, I see Fabian Delph there. If you're doing a career mode with a lower rated team, you might want to sign him. And I don't know, I've still got Miachi on there, because I know I can't sign him. We have a game against Anzi, like I said, and hopefully you can win. We have a habit of beating them by loads of goals. I think we beat them like 6-0 last season, and I'm going to tell you the game was no different. They're really poor, and believe it or not, they're like 6th in the Russian league. And with a team that like this that I beat by so many, I struggled to beat. I remember that Volga side. And they're 2nd from bottom, I think. Oh, no, they're actually bottom of the table, and this Andy side, we usually score loads of goals against them. Their defence is really poor, and somehow they are really high up, so other teams must struggle against them. This is a team midfield. We do bring Alex Teixeira in because he played well in the last game, but we take Witsel out, and our strike force is the same with Aubameyang and Nelson Oliveira. Shaqiri on the ball, gets blocked by the keeper, and then they kind of mess up the clearance, and the keeper ends up sliding off the pitch. Bit of a stupid goal, but Nelson Oliveira does take the goal very nicely. Crescito on the ball, Nelson Oliveira over the top to Draxler. Draxler goes for the shot. It is saved up in the air, which is a really bad save, and it gets nodded in by Crescito. He made a run all the way from in defence. Shaw on the ball, out wide to Alex Teixeira. Gets tackled, but Shaw retains possession, and Alex Teixeira just swear it back across, and really another piece of poor keeping. Allows the keeper to get nutmegged, and it's 3-0. Their keeper wasn't exactly the best. Excuse me again. If they actually bought a new keeper, they would probably not have let in like half the goals. He's just really poor keeping, and their defence wasn't very good either. So Nelson Oliveira here at 4 on goal, trying to get the 5th, and I thought he overstepped it there, but still fires it over the keeper, and the keeper was really poor again there. And Shaqiri on the ball, just literally just walking through their defence. Tracks the cuts inside. He just can't mark anyone. I guess Aubameyang with his pace, but then power header just brushes the defender aside. That is 6-0, and Aubameyang on the ball over the top to Draxler, and Draxler just cuts back, and, just pass it to Alex Teixeira, who just puts it in the corner. No chance for the keeper, and they just stood there, a bit like Liverpool last night actually. Just stood there and watched. As Man City beat us 3-1 last night. There was just really poor defending, and so I wasn't really sure about that defensive play. But that is the end of the episode, guys. An 8-0 win, and thanks for watching. And I guess I'll see you all next time.
Well, the game is over.